told your friend you're not okay.
The K-pop world is shaking. Not just any shaking, but a shaking that reaches its very roots. A shaking that has been long awaited by millions of armies around the globe. A shaking that has now finally been confirmed directly from the lips of a man who has long been a symbol of art, beauty, and depth in the Korean music industry. Kim Taehyung, the V of BTS, has spoken out, and what he has revealed is not only shocking, but has literally shaken the entire global music ecosystem from its foundations. Before you scroll down, hold your breath, because what you're about to read is one of the most historic moments in BTS's long history, and you won't want to miss a single word of this exclusive confession. BTS's massive concert at Stanford University isn't just a musical performance. It's a declaration. It's a loud statement to the world that BTS isn't just a pop phenomenon that will fade with time. They're a cultural force so deeply ingrained in the global music landscape that even one of the world's most prestigious universities is opening its doors to be a part of that history. And amidst all the excitement, anticipation, and incredible hype surrounding this incredible event, Kim Taehyung chose to speak. Speak honestly, speak from a heart. Speak in a way that only someone who truly loves what they do can. Taehyung revealed that the preparations for this concert were beyond simple words. He called the rehearsal process he and his fellow members underwent one of the most challenging and yet most beautiful experiences of his life. Imagine an artist who has experienced stages all over the world, who has stood in front of hundreds of thousands of audiences on various continents, who has won award after award from various international music institutions, still being able to say that this preparation felt different, felt much more intense, felt like starting all over again with standards that were many times higher than before. That's not an empty phrase. It's a true reflection of how seriously BTS, and Taehyung in particular, take this Stanford concert as a milestone that should not be wasted. In his widely circulated confession, which immediately sparked tears and pride among ARMY, Taehyung recounted how he spent hours every day not only practicing his vocals and choreography, but also deeply exploring the artistic concept he would bring to the Stanford stage. He said he spent constant discussions with the creative team, the choreographers, the musicians behind the scenes, and even with his fellow BTS members late into the night to ensure that every second of the performance would be perfect. Not just technically perfect, but emotionally perfect, capable of touching every individual in attendance at the deepest level of their feelings. What made this confession even more moving was Taehyung's personal interpretation of Stanford. He described Stanford not simply as a magnificent venue with an unparalleled academic reputation, but as a symbol of something much larger, a symbol of the world's recognition that Korean music, art, and culture have a rightful and honorable place at the table of global civilization. His words flowed with a sincerity that was hard to fake, describing how he remembered his childhood in Daegu, how he would stand in front of the mirror dreaming of the day his voice would be heard by the world, and how now, in this moment, those dreams were not only coming true, but far beyond anything he could have ever imagined. Taehyung also specifically touched on how important the connection between BTS and ARMY was in building the energy behind this concert. He admitted that every move he practiced, every note he strengthened, every expression he perfected in front of the practice mirror was always done with one image in mind: the faces of the ARMY who would be in attendance that night, who had waited for years, who had cried and laughed with BTS through every phase of life. For him, performing at Stanford wasn't about proving something to the industry or to music critics. It was about giving the most unforgettable night to the people who had always been the reason BTS stood tall. Meanwhile, this concert is also being touted as having the potential to break numerous records in global music history, and not without reason. The scale of the production prepared for this Stanford concert is reportedly far beyond the standards of previous BTS concerts, which are already known as some of the largest and most spectacular stage productions ever. From the use of cutting-edge visual technology, to the never-before-seen stage configuration, to the setlist that reportedly encompasses BTS's entire musical journey from its inception to its current era, Everything is designed with one singular mission: to create a moment that will be talked about for decades to come. A moment that music historians will reference when talking about the greatest turning point in K-pop's journey on the global stage. And amidst all the brilliance of the production, Taehyung, in his signature way, with a depth that always manages to touch the hearts of anyone who listens, reminds everyone that, ultimately, all the technology, all the choreography, all the magnificent set designs are just vehicles. Vehicles to convey something far more important, far more eternal: love. BTS's love for their music, BTS's love for their army, and BTS's love for the world that has embraced them with an embrace they never imagined would be this great. Taehyung's statement came at the perfect time, when the global ARMY community was at its peak of anticipation, with social media flooded daily with theorizing, hoping, and a counting down to that historic night. And as usual, Taehyung succeeded, just with his honesty, just with his sincerity, in transforming that anticipation into something more sacred, deeper, more than just another concert. He made millions feel like they were part of something bigger, that their presence, both physically at Stanford and spiritually from around the world, was integral to whether or not that night would be made in history. The world had been warned, and now, one by one, layers upon layers of the grand plan BTS has been preparing for months are beginning to be revealed. And each layer revealed further confirms that this Stanford concert will not only be the biggest musical event of the year, but will likely be one of the most monumental moments ever recorded in the history books of the global entertainment industry as a whole. Following Kim Taehyung's heartbreaking confession that instantly ignited the passion of millions of armies worldwide, new information continues to pour out of the water that had been held back for far too long. And what has the global K-pop community most gripped are the specific details of how the intense preparation Taehyung mentioned actually took place behind the scenes. This wasn't just the routine rehearsals any idol group would undertake before concert. This was a total orchestration involving hundreds of people, thousands of man-hours, and dedication that transcended the boundaries commonly recognized in the industry. The digital moment of togetherness that ensued after Taehyung's confession was itself a phenomenon worthy of note. Within hours of his statement, hashtags related to the Stanford concert and Taehyung's name dominated trending topics on various platforms in dozens of countries simultaneously, a demonstration of the power of the ARMY community, which, even after all this time, continues to move the internet on a scale no other artist's fanbase in the world can replicate. And behind all those trending numbers and statistics, there's something far more meaningful. Millions of people from different backgrounds, languages, and cultures who, in one moment, felt the same thing, connected by the invisible thread of music, art, and a love for something genuine and beautiful. The Stanford concert is just days away. The world is holding its breath. And so is Kim Taehyung, along with his 6 stage brothers who have weathered the storms and the beauty of this journey together. Stay tuned to K-pop news for the latest updates, exclusive sneak peeks, and live coverage of all the historic moments in K-pop that you don't want to miss. Because here, every story is told with as much love as ARMY loves BTS. Turn on notifications, share with your fellow ARMYs, and be part of a community that's always at the forefront of following the incredible journeys of these world-changing stars. See you in the next update, and as always, stay tuned, stay proud, and keep loving the music that changed your life.